Jingle dolls, jingle doll the way. Hey there, welcome back to the Teeny Tinkers channel where I make doll and craft related content. I've been bitten by the holiday spirit this year, or maybe it's just intoxication from the glitter glue. But either way, I'm diving headfirst into some really festive, creative things. Today we're making Christmas themed ball jointed dolls. Not new sculpts this time, but some delightful twists on previous designs. First, we get all the files loaded up and ready to print. While the printer does its thing, let's chat about what we're creating. You might remember Iris, my first Anthro BJD. She was a sweet little sheep. Well, I've given her a holiday makeover. Antlers, a rounder nose, and even a tiny little tail. Iris 2.0, Reindeer Edition. But wait, there's more. I've also sculpted a new mouse faceplate inspired by the Christmas classic, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And because I clearly can't stop myself, I added tails for these guys too. Oh, and I just had to do some object heads. I'm really on an object head kick lately. I don't know if you've noticed. I needed to do some radio head and jar head dolls. But anyways, what says Christmas cheer like object head BJDs? Just me? All right, our prints are done. Time to clean them up. I've printed them in white, tan, and a transparent resin. This will give me a nice variety for the reindeer and the mice, plus I have some mix and match object head dolls. Honestly, sorting through them feels like putting together a Christmas cookie platter, just instead of sugar, it's resin dust. Don't lick your fingers, friends. I used some small elastic to string them up and secure the head backs on with metal O-rings. The faceplates come off and most clothes will fit easily over their head backs. Also, most clothes this size are also Velcro up the back. Oh yeah, speaking of clothes, this isn't just tiny dolls. We are making all of these into itty bitty full sets. Think mini sweaters, tiny pants, little bitty skirts, and literally some adorable tiny little beaded accessories. It's so cute. So the idea behind this is that BJDs maybe could be incorporated into Christmas decor. I have been dying to find a way to incorporate my dolls and my art into my holiday decor, and what better way into turning them into like ornaments or shelf buddies. Now, I'm not going to hook any of these up to a tree, but you could technically make it sit in the tree and it would probably hold its pose pretty well. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, we have to sand and do face-ups. I mean, the nice thing about having them strung up and ready for sanding is they really don't need a lot of sanding. At this scale, the dolls don't have almost any print lines, and all I have to do is clip off any extra supports that got left over, sand those down with a fine grit sandpaper, and finish off with a magic eraser. It's honestly super easy. Although when you make 20 of them, it does kind of add up, but that's besides the point. But the faceplates, however, do get put aside and sanded more thoroughly. Faceplates need to be painted, and to do that, you need to have a really nice, smooth surface. All the clothes were obviously made by me, but I did have to start making them off camera well before filming this video, because knitting tiny things and sewing tiny things takes a lot of time, and this is something I've been working at in my spare time for quite a while now. Clearly, I have committed to this holiday theme, or I've gone completely nuts. You decide. Oh, also I wanted to mention that through November and December, if you haven't noticed, I do bump up my videos to twice a week, and that's here, and I'm going to try to do it on second channel. By the way, if you haven't heard of my second channel, that is Teeny or Tinkers. We just hit 1,000 subscribers not too long ago over there, so that's super exciting. And I'm planning on revamping both channels a bit in the new year. We'll talk about that later. But if you want to head over there and subscribe, there's going to be a lot of cool things happening there too. For the reindeer, I added paintable eyes directly onto the micros. This is something I've done before with, say, micro clover. And with these micros, I wanted to experiment between having the paintable eyes and the insertable eyes, which, by the way, are just beads for these anthros. And I have to say, the effect is pretty much the same, but I actually think in the future I would just do the bead eyes. I think it's easier, and if you wanted to put in a different eye, you could. So I use a bit of black Posca marker to paint on the eyes. I used watercolor markers to help define out the features a bit, then used pan pastels to bring out things like fur markings, contour, shaping, and I mean, I know they're animals, but I just had to add a bit of glittery eyeshadow or some festive blush to some of them. I just think it's cute. Okay, onto the object heads. Still leaning into the holiday vibes, we're going to start with Flora. I printed this faceplate in white, and I've just decided to do the inside of the petals in a dark red. I think this gives it a really beautiful winter flower look. I don't know, like a little bit frosted. Very poinsettia chic. As for the jar heads and the radios, let's just say the Posca markers and the watercolor markers got a serious workout. Once everything is sealed in with a couple layers of Mr. Super Clear UV Cut, I superglued the magnets in and secured the faceplates and the tails. Pro tip, I don't glue the tail magnets onto the doll. Instead, I use eye putty so you can adjust or remove them as you like. But let's wrap this up. These tiny BJDs are now ready to spread holiday cheer. The thing is, do I need 20 micro dolls for Christmas? Okay, probably not. Do I want 20 micro dolls for Christmas? Absolutely. But realistically, I can't keep them all. If I kept every doll I made, I mean, it would be ridiculous up in here. So if you'd like to bring one of these festive cuties home, you can check out my website. They are perfect for your Christmas tree, display shelf, or even as a quirky little bag buddy. I mean, who doesn't want a tiny little reindeer tagging along with them on their Christmas shopping? I'm not super particular about which ones I keep, so I'm just going to go ahead and list all of them. And then whatever stragglers are left are going to go into my Christmas tree. If you're seeing this video, that means they are on the website and they're ready to ship. So if you see one that you like, I would head on over before you miss it. Even if you can't bring one of these little guys home, it would mean a lot if you told me which ones were your favorites. Or if you've ever made a holiday doll, I would love to hear about that as well. That pretty much brings us to the end of this adventure. Thanks so much for joining me on this ridiculous quest to make so many tiny dolls. If you're already subscribed, thanks so much for subscribing, and if you're new here, I hope you like the content and consider subscribing. As always, I hope you have a fantastic day.